Hey, welcome. We're going to take a quick walk through and show you what the garden looks like right now. It's mid-October. I think we have some crows and possibly some starlings, giving you a little bit of a chorus. And don't forget the blue jay. We still didn't hit our first frost. You can see I've harvested quite a bit of the amaranth. I've left the stalks for now. I still have snapdragons and bachelor buttons, marigolds. Alyssum. These guys get hit pretty bad. The nasturtiums got hit by aphids really bad this year. This is my deer deterrent. I hung some pots and pans up. Kinda worked. Holy basil. A few tomatoes left on the vine. We actually had rain, so I took the cover off for the frost blanket. Calendula. We got asparagus going to seed. Tomato jungle. I think that's valerian. Then we got some skirret here. Indigo is going to flower. Hopefully I'll get some seeds out of that before the cold snap sets in. Lots and lots of garlic chives in here. Still have a few tomatoes left on the vine. Every once in a while there'll be a sunflower left. This is my aronia tree, quote unquote. And we covered this we were supposed to get frost last week, and we still have some beans climbing. This is a rhubarb bed. We have celery in here. Looks like we actually had we have another cucumber growing. Well, that was entertaining. It's October. You don't grow cucumbers in October, but it apparently is confused. We've had a lot of drought this year. Cabbages are looking good. Got some red sorrel. It's a hellebore. This is covered to keep the deer out. I've got Swiss chard in here and they go for that in a big way. Lettuce should be going to seed at this point in this bed. And have some volunteer marigolds, another cabbage. Had a lot of leftover cabbages, so I tucked them in here and there. There's a honeyberry bush. And supposedly, I don't know, the guy is going to get big enough. That's a Long Island cheese pumpkin. At least that's what I planted. What the squirrels planted might be another matter. Here, these guys are volunteers too. We still have some leeks. Okay, now we're going to head into the backyard. And I want you to see this sunchoke. It's well over 10 feet tall. It just started flowering just now. Now this section has had no watering over the whole summer. So that may be one of the reasons it blooms so late, but my God, look how high that is. Now over here I have my herb spiral. I've got the rosemary covered. We had to cut it back so the bucket would fit over the top again. We still have a little bit of basil. You can see the hyssop the flowers are dying back. The horehound is going nuts. The yarrow never actually bloomed this year. It really needs a new location. This is the mulberry tree. See these sticks here? This is where the deer have defoliated the whole thing. A couple basil plants up here. And those are the covers for them for when it frosts. Okay, you can see I've got covers everywhere just in case it frosts. I had planted radishes in here and something ate them. Then I have a mesclun mix in here. I can see the black mustard. And there's actually Mitsuna in this. These are the market turnips. We harvested a good bit of these already, but there's a few that are just maturing a little bit more. And then this is my tomato trellis, and I had to take the plastic off because it was holding water. And the burlap is around it to keep the deer from eating everything, because they have been. It seems to work pretty well. You see I got quite a few tomatoes up here. These guys are doing pretty good for as dry as it's been. And then down here I planted some arugula. Guess I got a tomato got knocked down by the wind. We picked and harvested the eggplant already. Those are just the leftover plants mixed in with some daikon radishes to keep anything from eating them. We did have a lot of groundhog damage this year. And when we had the plastic cover on, it made this quite into a greenhouse. And the pumpkin started growing again. You can see it over in the corner. It actually came back. That was dang near dead about a month ago. And then I have scarlet runner beans up here. We're going to leave those to kind of dry on the vine. There's quite a few. I Didn't expect this much. The deer ate everything up to this point. You can see there's no leaves below this point, which is why the cover went on. See all the deer damage. I'm starting to recover a little bit. I got some onions in here. The butternut at this point is just about done. You can see that's one that the groundhog started to chew on and then just left. Looks like I got a carrot. There's some columbine decided to grow in here, so that would be interesting. And I've got one beet plant in the corner. That's about it. Put some marigolds in here. Then this is going to be my winter bed here. I've got carrots going, daikon radishes. There's a couple of peas in there. And don't know if we can see it from this angle, but there's some tomatoes left on the vine there. Looks like the deer came through and ate more last night. There's a lot of, you can see they would have gone down the other side of the fence line and just leaned their heads over. And I got a dill plant in there. That's a volunteer. Cabbages. Got some Claytonia in here. Probably also some bitter cress, which is wild. And I put lettuce in the cinder blocks. That is wild mustard there, that yellow flowering. There's more red vein sorrel. Some more leeks. Tarragon. This guy right here is horseradish, and the rest of this is comfrey hiding in there. This is what I use to mulch with. And this is something the squirrels planted. We're not quite sure what these are. The groundhog took one bite and decided no. And in the middle there is a raspberry patch. That's an old part. This wire frame is an old part of a display. We're using that to keep the groundhog off of some of the butternut squash. Just put it right over the top. I need to put that away for the winter. This is a plum tree. In the summer we have to watch out because the clothesline goes right by here. Brown bats like to hang out on this. The recently fledged brown bats like to hang out on this, and sometimes they'll get caught up in the laundry. So we're real careful about that in about beginning of August. Tomatoes back here are dying back. Just too dry for them. Kale likes it. It's doing good. And watch where I step. This is the Asian pear. The tomatoes that were on the bed frame just got clipped totally by deer. And the CDs that spin don't seem to deter anything. I thought it might be worth a shot. Didn't work. So we're looking at next year picking up another, this is a gooseberry. I get a couple more gooseberries and a couple of gomi bushes back here. We can create a nice natural hedge. These guys have some vicious thorns. And so I'm thinking with this as the understory, And the gomi, which has really big thorns. This is a gomi. We might be able to keep the deer out of this area because this is what they did to the serviceberry. They ate everything they could reach. Had to have been a youngling, a fawn, reached in and just got everything. There is nothing basically left of this. There's a couple leaves on the outside. That's it. This pear tree they're leaving alone. And this is a mulberry that needs cutting back. That's on the agenda next. So maybe we'll do another walkthrough in November, maybe not. Depends on how cold the weather is. Foliage through here is just, it's really nice. This is the lilac bush. That's the neighbors. That is a Siberian elm tree. And there you have it. There's your October walkthrough. Take care.